So what we're looking at today, we're looking at working a job, but we're going to work some overtime. We're going to figure out how much overtime we get paid. So let's have a look at this example. Jim gets $4 per hour. Not a very good wage, if you ask me, but Jim's happy. For every hour over 8 hours he works, he gets time and a half, and he works a 10-hour shift. Now, the time and a half is the important bit. That tells us how much overtime he gets, but we'll get to that. So, how much will Jim earn today? What I think is a good idea to do is to write out a little table. First of all, you've got first hour, second hour, third hour, so on, all the way up until the 10th hour, because you know he works a 10-hour shift. And then you've got to, I don't know, the way that I've done it, I've just drawn little dollar signs to show how many dollars he earns per hour. So, basically, first hour, there are $4 signs here, which means he's earned $4 in this hour, which is consistent with our starter information. Jim gets $4 per hour. That's why there are $4 signs next to the first hour. And he gets it every hour, we know that. So second hour, $4. Doesn't change. Let's do the first 8. So we've got $4 in each hour, and we've done it for 8 hours. We've got this in this blue box down here. $4 times 8 hours. Now we're going to calculate that in a minute. Let's move on to the overtime part. So how much is he actually getting paid per hour for overtime? It says time and a half, but how many dollars per hour does he actually earn per hour for overtime? The way we can figure that out is the dollars per hour times by the overtime rate. This is quite an important formula. Overtime rate is just how much does he get paid for overtime. It says in this information up here, he gets time and a half. Basically what that is saying, he gets the normal hourly rate plus half of the hourly rate. So 4 times 1.5, or 4 plus half of 4, which 4 plus 2 is 6. $6 per hour for overtime. And if you look back at our table, that's what we've done. We've got 4, like for the 9th hour, for example, we've got $4 in green, and then we've taken half of that, so 2 of these $4, and we've added it on over here for the orange bit. So now we've got 4 green dollars and 2 overtime orange dollars. That's trying to show how much he gets paid for overtime in the 9th and 10th hour. Now what you'll notice, the orange dollars are only down for the 9th and 10th hour. He doesn't get them for the whole 10-hour shift. Because up like first hour to the 8th hour, literally doesn't change anything. Still just gets his $4 an hour. Only when he goes over the 9th hour and goes to the 9th and the 10th hour is when he starts getting the $6 an hour. And we can figure, like, if the overtime laws didn't exist, he would be getting $4 less. But because overtime exists, he gets $4 extra, which is cool. So, how much is he getting paid in total, though? So we know how much he gets paid for the 9th and 10th hours, but how much does he get in total? Well, we've got this little orange box down here, $4 per hour times 1.5, which is the overtime rate, and he's done it for 2 hours. We're going to add these together. Not sure if you guessed that on, but we have to add them together. 4 times 8, 32. 4 times 1.5 is $6. So the overtime amount per hour does it for 2 hours, $12. 32 plus 12 is 44. If you pause the video and you go and count up all of these green and oranges, that's the number. That's how many dollars you get. You get $44. Cool. All right, let's go on to example number 2. So Bob's slightly better off. You get $10 an hour. In today's world, still not that good, especially if you're in Australia. If you're in the US, it's like $15 an hour, which is okay. Current currency rates, but we're not here to talk about currency. So, for every hour over 8 hours, he gets time and a half. He works 10-hour shift. Nothing's changed, except it's Bob instead of Jim, and he gets $10 an hour now instead of $4 an hour. So let's go ahead and write our little table out. Same thing, first hour to the 10th hour, nothing's changed. Instead of 4 little dollar signs per hour, we're going to chuck in 10. Oh, sorry, how much will Bob earn today? That's obviously the question. We've got 10 little dollar signs now. Count them up. We've got 10. That's saying if he works 1 hour, he get $10. If he works 2 hours, he's going to get $10 in the first hour and then $10 in the second. It's going to be 20. Do that once again for the 8 hours. Then we've got $10 per hour by 8 hours. that's just saying $10 per hour, and then we've got 8 hours. That's all it is. Once again, overtime rate, we need to look at the formula and stuff. Instead of $4 per hour, now it's 10. So basically it's 10, and then you just take half of the $10 and you just chuck it over here. So 10 times 1.5, or 10 plus half of 10, or 5. 10 plus 5 is 15. That's how much you get per hour for overtime. So let's have a look at our little table. We've done that. We've got the 10 original base hour, like dollars per hour, and then we've taken half of the 10 and we've chucked it over here to make $15 an hour, the orange dollars, which is what we've got in this box. I'm going to add these together again. $80, which is just saying $10 for every hour, and if you work 8 hours, it's just 10 times 8, $80. And then 10 times 1.5, so we're getting $15 an hour for overtime. We do it for 2 hours, makes $30. Add these together, what do we get? $110. If you want to pause the video and you want to go count up all these dollar signs, be my guest, it'll add up to 110. Obviously, overtime can be a bit different depending on the information you're given. If it said for every hour over 8 hours he works, he gets double time, then it would be 10. Instead of times 1.5, you'd be doing it times 2. You'd just be getting paid more per hour for overtime. If the information said if you work over 8 hours, you get the whole day overtime rate, then you would have to do overtime rate for every single hour. Or if public holidays, for example, are a flat double time or double time and a half, it would be different again. For this information that I've given you, this is the table that I've come up with. See ya!